Chapter 15. Only One Way.
A light breeze brought out the cold air. Taylor looked out into the valley. The weather looked ominous, but no rain or snow came. They all sat thinking, not saying much. The valley shifted into evening and the chill got worse. "I never thought it would wind up like this," Taylor said. "You did not make his choices for him. He is to blame, Taylor, not you," Thorane assured. "Maybe we can catch him again. We can get him to L.A. and keep him in the shelter," Trisha said. "This time watch over him ourselves," Trisha added hopefully. "No," Amy said in a matter-of-fact tone. No one said anything for a moment. "Amy's right. Scott has gone too far," Taylor agreed. "Maybe he can come back," Trisha defended. But she began to realize where the conversation was going. It made her skin crawl. "No, he does not want to come back. He would have never done that to Tiffany. The Scott that I knew is gone." "He has gone too far," Taylor said. "He's made his choice, Taylor. You're the only one that can stop him," Amy said. "Are you saying go kill him?" Trisha asked, aghast. She was not particularly worried about Scott's fate. However, she knew the act of killing Scott would send Taylor down a road of pain that would be even worse than the one he was already on. "Yes," Amy paused, letting it sink in for everyone, including herself. "Scott was a great guy, but this thing is not Scott. And even if he is in there, and even if you could get him to come back, he would be destroyed at what he done. It's best for him as well," Amy said. Trisha sighed. She knew she had little to say in this matter. This was to be decided by Taylor and Amy. Although the worry for Taylor made her want to speak, she was forming her defense in her mind. Taylor beat her to it. "She's right," Taylor said, tears streaming down his face. "And I'm the one that has to do it," Taylor said, and he sobbed into his hands. Amy came over and hugged him. "You're doing the right thing," Amy said. "I've wronged him when I got him involved in my life," Taylor said. "Ah, bullshit, Taylor. Don't start that crap. Scott would have been dead 100 times over if you wouldn't have been in his life. Be honest, you pulled his ass out of the fire a lot. So did Tiffany, for that matter. I love Scott too. He's my brother too. But he killed our sister," Amy said. Taylor straightened up on his feet. He held his emotion in check now. "You're right," Taylor said, now knowing what he would have to do. He stared blankly as the thought of all the memories of his best friend flooded through his mind. The times they had spent hiking the back country of Utah, riding their bikes, the talks, the nights together. Scott and him had been the closest thing to brothers that either of them had ever known. Taylor set his lip in grim determination. He pushed the memories out of his mind. He would remember Scott fondly, forever. However, Amy was correct. The thing that now ran wild was not Scott. Taylor tried to flip the perspective to see what Scott would have done in the situation reversed. Taylor decided that Scott would have done the same, or at least he hoped. "I need to go," Taylor said, and he walked toward the house. Thorane followed him into the house. "You all right?" Trisha asked Amy. "I have to be. We have bigger things to move on to." "He's doing the right thing, Trisha," Amy said. She could see that the plan really disturbed her, but she also knew and felt that it had to be done. She wished Taylor would not have to be the one, but she also knew that if anyone else would have said they would do it, Taylor would not have let them. "Yeah, for Tiffany and Scott. But what's it gonna do to him?" Trisha asked, looking longingly at the door that Taylor had just left through. "Taylor is stronger than you even know. He'll come out okay. It'll be hard, but it's for the best," Amy said. Tiff would have said the same thing, and Scott, if he wasn't completely gone, would have also said the same thing, Amy said, now laying a hand on Trisha's shoulder. "It's so much for him to deal with," Trisha replied. "Yeah, so is all of this stuff for all of us. But I promise you this, if there's anyone on this planet that can come through it, it'll be Taylor," Amy said. "I hope so," Trisha replied. "I know so," Amy replied confidently. "Do you know where he'll be?" Thorane asked as he tailed Taylor into the garage when he started to gear up his bike. "Yes, I know," Taylor said grimly. Thorane handed him his cell phone. "When it's done, call me. I will handle the rest," Thorane said. "Are you sure you don't want me to come with you?" Thorane inquired. "No. If it needs to be done, then it should be me that does it," Taylor replied, climbing on his bike. Thorane hit the button and the door started to roll open. "Have you ever done anything like this?" Taylor asked. Geraint did not answer for a moment, lost in thought. "No, not quite like this. But I think I know some small measure of the pain that you're going through. I will say this. I have great faith in you," Geraint said. "Why?" Taylor asked. "I have watched you all your life, Taylor, and although you may not share the same feeling for me, but to me you are my brother. If I'm wholly honest, on some days I did not like Scott very much. Not because you had to save him, but in a way I guess I would say I was jealous," Geraint said. "I keep forgetting that you've been around the whole time," Taylor said, still trying to wrap his head around everything that had been revealed over the last few days. "I don't say that Scott did not deserve his place at your side, but only to say that there are others, including me, that will always be at your side." Geraint said, having a hard time finding the words to properly express what he was trying to communicate, which for him was an experience he had not run into often since he had been human. "Geraint, I know where you're coming from. Scott is from my old life. I don't know if I'll ever believe that I did not pull him into this whole mess. But the way he handled it is on him," Taylor said. "And thank you for your support now, but also for all the years you watched over me. I don't think I'll ever be able to repay that," Taylor said, and pulled on his helmet. "You have nothing to repay me for. Just make it swift and come back soon," Geraint said. He patted Taylor on the shoulder to offer one more small measure of support. The bike started and pulled out into the street. Geraint watched as Taylor disappeared. "You may lose one brother tonight, Taylor, but you still have one left," Geraint said. He had never voiced how he felt for Taylor, because he did not want to wedge himself into Taylor's life. However, from the first time he'd seen Taylor, he had felt a connection to him, knowing that Taylor would change everything. "The road can be rocky, but you will find your way," he thought to himself. He turned and walked inside. Taylor rode down out of the rich neighborhood of Geraint's home, and then got onto the freeway. A few minutes later he was heading for the hills towards Scott. Tonight, Taylor would let go of his old life completely. He was now something different, and so was everything around him.